What's up, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to walk you through some of the very basics of Divi. And as we do with every one of these videos, let's get you through some of the intro. What we're working with here, WordPress version 5.5.1. We're going to go in and look at the version of Divi that we're using. We've got it installed here in our environment, our test environment, and we're working with what is the latest as of today, September 7th, 2020. We're working with 4.6.1. So we got a point release. Divi just put out the sticky options, and that's what we're working with here. So we're going to take you through kind of what Divi is, what Divi isn't, and we're going to show you some of the settings and some things you can do with Divi, and then also show you a couple examples of sites we've built using Divi, all of which our goal is for every one of them, especially on our custom clients, our higher end clients. Our goal is to create something that you can't tell is Divi. So this is what you get out of the box. It's a blank slate. These widgets are in here automatically as well. So what we're going to do, first and foremost, I'm going to show you how to take this from being just a blog list, which is what WordPress is by default, and we're going to create something that's a little more appealing. So the end goal here is we're going to create a standard website with the Divi layouts and show you some of the features and settings along the way. So first thing we got to do is go back into the back end, and we need to go into appearance, down into widgets. So for some reason, as of not that many releases ago, this footer area one, this is default WordPress stuff, and they're here, just this is what comes out of the box when you install Divi. So we've got the archives. I want to delete this from the footer area, delete all of these, and now whenever we go back into the front end, we're going to reopen the website in a new tab. You're going to see that the footer no longer has those sections in them anymore, but you still see this right here. This is the sidebar for WordPress. Those options are here in these widgets. So we've got recent posts and recent comments. If I wanted to keep the search and the recent post but get rid of the comments, I could just come in here, hit delete, and then go back to the front end and hit refresh on the browser, and the comments would go away. The next real thing we want to do is make this actually look like a website. And the beauty of Divi is that it comes with a ton of layouts. So we've got to create a few pages. So go into WordPress under pages, and we've got a home page here. We're going to add a couple of other pages. So we're going to add a blog page, and we're going to publish it. We're not going to add anything else to it. We're just going to publish the page. And there's some options in here. So whenever you come into new WordPress, as of I think version 5.3 or 4, something like that, not that long ago, they made the blog post go full width and full screen, which is great if you're getting in here and you're typing blog posts. Not awesome for pages, because what you need to do is get rid of full screen mode. That way you can quickly and easily add additional pages. I use it just like this. So we've created a blog page. We're going to create an About Us page. We'll publish that, and then we'll come back in here and do a contact page as well. All right. So if we go back to the page listing by clicking on pages, or you could click on all pages, it'll take you to the same place. We've got a home, we've got contact, we've got about, and a blog page. And then we've got this privacy policy page, which is there by default. What we're going to do now is actually build out the options. So inside of Divi, you get this added, edit with Divi. We're going to go down to the home page first, and we're going to hit edit with Divi, and it's going to jump past the page you just saw and go straight into the front end for the visual builder. And that's where you get a few options. You can either build from scratch, which it gives you a blank page. You can go to town building sections and rows and modules and everything inside of that. Or you can go with a pre-made layout. Kenny Singh and the Elegant Themes team, their design team is just ridiculous. I did a podcast episode about a year and a half ago, maybe, when they launched Divi Design Initiative 2.0, where they've committed to putting out 2 unique layout packs every single week. It's a lot of work, and they do it really well. So you've got that, or you can clone an existing page. So if you have something you've already built and you want to use it as the framework for a new page, you can just clone a page. It'll bring your design over, and then you can make the tweaks that you want to do from there. In this case, like I said in the beginning, we're going to be using a pre-made layout. So let's just open a pre-made layout, and we're going to just scroll through some of these. The first ones up here are some of the much older ones that don't take advantage of some of the new features. So as we scroll down, there's more newer layout packs that take advantage of more of what Divi can do. So they constantly put out new features, and these new packs definitely give you more options, and they utilize the options in Divi a little bit better. So let's keep on going down. We'll go all the way down to the bottom, and then we'll scroll up just a little and see kind of what we want to build. This robotics one looks cool, but let's find something a little more practical. Let's say fitness coach. Fitness coach is extremely practical, right? We're doing the home page, so we can pick between a home page, or we've got this landing page. I like the landing page, so we're going to replace the content. If you wanted to add the layout at the bottom of some content you already have, just uncheck replace existing, and it'll drop the layout below what you have. But we want it to take over the whole page, and we don't have any content here anyway. So let's use this layout. We'll hit use, and it's going to do its thing. So this is really cool. Like, this is where Divi does. This is where the power of Divi really is. So you see, we're doing our thing here. It's still uploading, but it's getting close. So that's what we're going to continue to look at. These things are phenomenal. Like I said, they drop pages for every single type of design that you could want. There's so many layouts, and they have pages for each thing. So back in here, we've got the layout. It's approved, or it's been downloaded. It's going to drop into the back end, and depending on your internet speed will definitely dictate how quickly this goes. But you can see this drops in. As you scroll in, we've got some of these motion effects. That looks pretty cool. The picture of the girl doing yoga actually, or her stretches actually changes. So this is cool. This is very cool. It's a pretty looking design. We got movement here. The video actually goes up. The images bounce around in and out. It's very visually appealing, right? Perfect. So we're gonna just save this layout. The header doesn't really fit it all that well, but it also doesn't not fit it. So we're gonna leave it like it is for now. Exit the visual builder, close out this other page, and we're gonna jump back into the back end, back into pages, and we just created the home page. And when you see here, it's got Divi next to it at the top. That means that it's got the visual builder on the front end. If you go back in, try to use the classic editor here, what's going to happen is that it's going to overwrite all the work you did. Not what you want to do, definitely not the end goal. So you want to make sure that if you have Divi and you already use the visual builder, that you do not go backwards. Don't activate the classic builder, or you will lose everything. So we're going to go and do this contact page as well. We're going to edit with Divi, load that page up, and we're going to drop this fitness layout again. So again, go back to choose a pre-made layout. We're going to search for fitness. You've got all the fitness coach stuff here. We're in the contact page, so we're going to pick this layout for fitness coach contact page, and we're going to use the layout. It's going to go back in and do its thing. It's awesome. It's going to download. It's going to approve that layout, drop everything into that page, format things the way they need to be, and then we're going to be right back in, able to save this layout. And once it's saved down here, you get the check, it goes back. We can go back into the back end once again and continue this process through the rest of the pages. So we're actually not going to do the blog one on here. I don't have blog posts that are kind of teed up for this example. So we're going to leave that page out for now. We're going to do a 3-page site. So we're going to go back into choose a pre-made layout. We're going to do fitness once again. And we're going to find the about page, which is right here. Same thing we did before. We're going to go in. We're going to let it download into the layout, or into that page, and then we're going to publish it. And we'll continue to go through this process of building the site and trying to make it as complete as we can. So we've got everything, checked off here. Layouts going into the page. Only thing we've got to do now is go down here and hit save. And then we're going to exit out to the actual website. I'm going to show you a few things, some stuff you need to do in WordPress if you're not familiar with it, right? We've got this About Me page. If we click home, it's going to take us to this goofy thing that we saw at the beginning, which is not what you want unless you're doing a blog. And even inside of Divi, that's not what you would want to do, because you want to design the page that has your blog posts on it. You want to make it look yours. So that's something for a different video. But what we want to do to first and foremost, we want to customize this. Remember, our page is going to have our site's going to have 3 pages: a home, about, and a contact. That's it. So we're going to have to get rid of these other things, and we're going to have to set up this home page. We want it to be the home page that had that landing page design. So we're going to go into menus. That's the first and foremost what we want to do. And we've got to build a brand new menu. So we'll just call this main nav, set it as the primary, and hit create. That's going to give us the option to add some of these pages. So we can hit home, that'll be our first page, about would be our second, and contact would be our third. And you can see again, it marks pages that were created with the Divi builder on the side of this as well. So you know it's made in Divi, it's one of your layouts, and we're good to go here. So we've got 3 pages in our main navigation menu. So we're going to hit save, and then I'll show you in the front end kind of what that looks like. So we open up the front, all the other things are gone. The categories, and we saw uncategorized, which is a category for the blog post, that's gone from the menu. Everything's as it needs to be. But the next thing we want to do is get rid of this and put our layout, put our home page as the actual home page. So to do that, go back into the back end, and we want to go down to settings and then reading. So you think about it, terminology here in WordPress is all about blogs. It's all about reading. So the page that you want to go to, your blog post, all that stuff, all those settings live inside of this reading section of your settings. So we'll click reading, and then the home page, set what it displays. You can have it as your latest post. That's why it's showing those blog posts right now. But what we want it to do is we want it to display the website that we're building. We want it to be the custom page that we've put in place. So to do that, you've got to change from your latest post to static, and then pick your home page. The home page is going to be what we named home, and it could be something different. It could be your business name. It could be whatever you name the page that you want to be your home page. If you have one page, it could just be that one. We're going to pick home here, and remember, we'll open the link of what the site looks like currently before we save it. Remember, it looks just like this. So if we had more posts, they would just be listed right here. We're going to hit save. So now our static home page is going to be this home, and when we come back and refresh the home page, it's going to look a lot different. So what we're going to get now is the home page with the layout for the fitness instructor or fitness coach that we put in here earlier. So now when we click on the home here or on the logo to bring us back home, it's going to load this page. And you can see everything, all the movement, all those things, right? And then we can go over to About. It's going to do the exact same thing. It'll show you the About page, and then Contact. Contact will take us to the Contact page. So, give or take some customization and, maybe some images or our own contact stuff here, our own frequently asked questions, we technically have a website. We have a 3-page fitness website that can be set up pretty quickly. But what we want to do is go through and show you a little bit of how we can customize the menu up here. The footer is still the basic footer, even though we've got this footer here. We want to get rid of this, right? So what we're going to do is go back into the back end, and we're going to go into Divi, into the builder. The builder is where Divi's power is. We waited for this. I started my podcast over 2.5 years ago just because of this announcement. I knew that the theme builder was going to be coming. It was actually before the announcement, but I knew that the Divi builder was coming, and I was super excited about it because I knew it would change the game. And I already love the product, but I wanted to have new things to talk about. I wanted to stay on top of the trends and what was coming out with Divi. And so I started the podcast, and it took almost a year and maybe 3 months before the actual release happened. So I did a lot of episodes in that year, 52-ish episodes in that year, leading into the release of the theme builder. And this changes the game. Again, you can add a global header, you can add a global footer. We're going to, let's say, just build a global footer and we can make it look kind of however we want. So what I'm going to do is actually use the layout that's in the fitness pack. So fitness, we find fitness, and we found the landing page. I want to copy that whole layout into the footer, which sounds crazy. I'm not going to use the whole layout. I want part of the layout. So I'm going to import that into here, and let's go back into the back end. I'm importing that that layout into the footer. And it's loading up, and what we're going to do here is just start deleting the areas in the sections. So you can see here it's highlighted in blue around the whole section. I want to get rid of this, so I hit the trash. Now this one I want to get rid of as well. This whole section I want to get rid of. This section I want to get rid of as well. This one's not going to make it. That one's not going to make it. That one's not going to make it. This is really cool. I love the way they did the testimonials, but that one's not going to make it. And then we've got this, right? We've got this whole section right here. This little contact, and we've got this subscribe. This is a little bit much for the bottom of every page, but the contact info at the bottom is pretty good. So I'm going to leave this right here as the footer. I'm going to hit save. And then I exit, and the key on this theme builder is whenever you build a new section, either a new footer, a new header, or you add a new template, whenever you exit that visual builder that we were just in, when you click here and it takes you into this, whenever you exit it for the very first time, you want to hit this save button. You've got to hit this save button for it to take effect on the front end. So we'll open the new link. We'll go all the way down on the first page, and you're going to see a duplicate of that very last section. So you see we've got this twice. So that means we need to enable the visual builder. And we'll go down to the bottom and we'll delete the last section on this page. So now we've got that contact info, the social media follows on the bottom of this page. They're going to show up on every single page. So you see we can't edit the very bottom one, but we can edit this one. We delete it, and now this page looks just like it did before. Now here's a key. Here's something I want to point out. If you're not super familiar with Divi and or a power user, there are short codes. You see the save button is going to work right now. It's going to start spinning because I hit Control and then S. And so there's a ton of keyboard shortcuts here, and you can click on this question mark and go here. There's video tutorials for any module that you have in the visual builder. There's also these keyboard shortcuts, and there's a lot of them. And these are great because you can go back, you can undo, you can redo, you can save the page, save page as a draft. There's a lot of things, and I'm not a power user on this. I did see there was somebody, and if you know who did this, leave a comment below if you've seen this before. But there is someone who put out a product, and it was a keyboard overlay for the Mac that had the Divi shortcodes programmed over it. So it would say, save, undo, redo as a control or a command on Mac, and it was really cool. I almost got it, probably should have, but I didn't at the time. Now I'm over to Windows, so I guess that's out. Unless somebody out there knows of one for Windows. If you do, throw a comment below and link up the product. I'd love to check it out. So we're going to save this one again, and then we're going to exit the visual builder, exit this page, and we're going to go kind of looking through our site. So I'm going to go to the About page, and I just want to go to the very bottom and see if we're still duplicating that contact section. And we are. So we'd have to remove it from this page as well. Looks like they built it into every one of the templates. Well, we don't want, for a client, we don't want to have to put one layout at the bottom of every page for a footer, because if any of this information changes, the phone number, the address, if they move, if they shut down one of their social media platforms, we don't want to have to go to every page of our site to change it. We want to go to one place, the global footer, change it once, and let it show up on every single page the way it's supposed to. That's efficient design. So we're going to go over to the contact page and check the bottom out. It's got it again, right? And that's okay. That's quite all right. We're going to enable the visual builder again. We'll go down to the bottom. We'll delete that section, and then we'll be all set. Actually, it looks like they did use this whole thing as the footer. So we could have theoretically left this whole section I could have left it all in the footer and it would have been just fine. But that's okay. It's perfect for this purpose. But the key part of this is that when you decide on your footer, whatever it is for your client, you want to do it one time in Divi. Put it in the global footer and change it once if you ever need to change it. That way you don't have to go to every single page anytime anything's changed. Somebody somewhere along the way is not going to want this font, or they're going to want something a little bit bigger, and you don't want to have to do that 10, 15, 30 times if you have a 30-page site. You want to do it once. So use those global settings and use them to your advantage. Same thing with the header. Let's open the front up. You can see the header here. Looks like so. What we want to do is add a global header. And we're going to build this one from scratch. Because unfortunately, I mentioned this in my last video, but there is not any library items for menu headers or footers. They're kind of built into definitely not for menu headers. Footers, some of them are built into the layouts like the one here, but the headers and the menu items are not built in yet. So we're going to go ahead and do a single row, and we're going to put in the menu module. So you can search up here and it'll filter out. We'll go into the menu settings. I'm actually going to drag it over to the side. We'll do a logo, and inside of the logo option, you can open up these as if they were different sections, and then when you hover over this, when there's no image there, this little symbol is use dynamic content. So we're going to do that, and we're going to actually just pick the site logo, which is my business logo. So what we want to do now is go into design. So content is where you set up any of the content, any text, any pictures, any links. That stuff is always going to live here. The design is where you're going to style everything that you can see. So we're going to go under here under sizing, and in sizing you've got some logo options, and we're going to drop this down. The other big thing is that you see there's gaps, there's padding that's built into these things automatically. So what I like to do, especially on the headers, is shrink everything down. So under sections, again, anything visual is going to be under design. So we'll hit design, we'll go down to spacing, and then this link right here, like it'll make both of them the same, the top and the bottom, and then you can link the left and the right. So if we go and just take 0 here, you're just going to see it shrink to the top. You're not going to see a change when I do this, but trust me, like if I hit OK right here, watch, you're going to see there's still the padding at the bottom. And if I go back into design and spacing and make both of these 0 and then hit OK, the spacing is shrunk in a bit. It's a little different. So the next thing we want to do is actually shrink in some of the spacing on the menus as well. So we'll do the same thing we did in the sections, but we'll do it in the rows. So go to design, spacing, click the link to make them together, and we're going to give them maybe 10. 10 seems to be the one that works pretty well. So now we're back inside of the menu, and I want to style the text. So again, it's something visual. So we're going to design, and there's menu text. So we can change the menu text, and we can make it look kind of however we want. We can go up in size. We can space it out a little bit. We can align it center or right. Kind of like it on the right. And that is a very, very basic menu. If for some reason you wanted this thing to go full width, there's not like a flag inside of Divi anymore to make it full width. You have to go to the row, you have to go under sizing, and then max width by default is set to 1080. So you can change this to %. If you do 100%, it's going to push it out as far as it can go. Now our width is only at 80, so we can still control this, or we can go full width if we take both of these to 100. Now that looks a bit goofy, so if we shrink this into 80%, we're pretty good. I'm going to keep this at 1080 and just make this 100%. That way it's exactly 1080 pixels wide. So we've got that, and I'm going to save it. And remember, this is what we looked like before. I'm going to open a new link here. It's still going to look the same if we go into the front end, because I didn't do what? Remember what I pointed out earlier. Still looks exactly the same, right? From here to here. It's that key component when you create a new layout for the first time, you have to exit and you have to go back here and hit save changes. So we'll save changes, we'll open back up here, and we're gonna say this is what it looks like now, and we're gonna refresh, and it's gonna look like what we just created. So there we go. We've got our menu here. So there's a few other things that we've got that are some powerful options for the menu. A lot of people love the menus to stick up to the top. So you can do a couple things. There's position, and you can do fixed. Fixed will keep it up at the top, and then watch if we save this and then go reload the front, it was doing this before, and then if we reload, it's going to be stuck at the top, but you're going to see some side effects, right? Now that's weird. I have found some strange things happening with Divi 4.6.1 with these menu options. Try and reload this again and see if that changes. Still not fixed. That is quite weird. Make sure everything stayed, so position, fixed. Man, it should be sticking. So let's put it back as relative, and let's try some of the sticky options. So you've got scroll effects, stick to top. We're going to save this one more time, and we're going to see if this actually takes hold this time. So it's hard to do a tutorial when Divi doesn't want to act right. So we'll refresh this, and you can see the sticky options did work. So as we scroll down, the menu sticks to the very top of the screen. That one works out well, looks good. It's pretty cool, right? Then we can go back in here if we wanted and take the background down just a bit. So it's white currently. Say we want to bring the opacity down just a bit. Let's say 92%. The key in this one is that when you put a new menu in place, for some reason they always drop a background on it, so it's white by default. I want to make it transparent, like delete it, make it transparent. We'll hit save, and we'll go back in and see if that style works just the way I intended it to. So I don't see anything behind it. Let's go try this again and drop the background even more transparent. That's going to be, I mean, if we were doing it for real and it was working, it would be way too transparent. And that's not working either. For some reason, the styles are giving me a huge issue inside of Divi. Now, what I did find in another video on this same exact setup, same version, is that when I enabled the visual builder, for some reason the header, the global things that I put in place actually worked, which you can see it actually working here. So yeah, that's a little strange, but as I scroll down, you see the opacity that I put in place it actually works. So it's a little strange, and like I said, this is ugly. You would never do something that transparent. I mean, maybe you would, but I wouldn't. I would maybe go to like 90, but regardless, for some reason those changes take place inside the visual builder, but they don't in the front end. It makes no sense. I'm assuming Elegant Themes should come out with a release to update this and fix it very soon. There's got to be some sort of clash with something in the core WordPress. Can't imagine what it could possibly be. As like I can show you real quick. The plugins that we've got in this thing are literally none. So we're working with pure WordPress, the latest version, pure Divi, the latest version, and nothing else to interfere. So it leads me to think there's something up with Divi. But here we are. This is what it is. Not the end of the world. But to take things back into the front end, this is as simple as it can be with Divi. You can actually drop your content in here, create your website extremely fast, Do it on your own if you want to bootstrap. It's not that hard. In fact, what we've done, and I'll load this up as well, actually kind of a sponsor of the video is one of our courses. It's the Divi Foundation course. We've been using Divi for 4.5 years, 5 years, somewhere in that ballpark, quite a while. And we built the Divi Foundation course. It's only $89. I think it's a steal, and I know I'm a little biased. I did make the course myself, but if you're looking for someone to hold your hand through your first website, I can absolutely do that. I'll show you the way. It'll take you all the way through the process. It's great for any business owner, especially in these times right now. We've got the COVID issues. The economy is not what it was, especially earlier in the year. And so I can hold your hand and walk you through the process of building your site. If you want to be a website freelancer and actually create this side hustle and make some money, whether it be on Fiverr or going out and hustling clients, this course would be great for you too. It's a great foundation. I'll walk you through some of the modules. What we do is there's a Meet Your Coach section. You already know me. You're here. You're seeing this on YouTube. You already know who I am. Hopefully you trust me. If this is the first time you're watching a video and you've made it this far in, first off, kudos. You're 30 minutes in. Huge. That's super huge. It actually kind of blows me away that anybody might even be watching this. But if you are, I appreciate you. The second module is all about WordPress. It's super basic, what it is, kind of a history about it, and why you should choose it over some of the other options. Then we've got the foundation. What does it look like to buy your first domain? Where should you buy your domain? Oh, everybody's seen the GoDaddy commercials. I'll just go to GoDaddy or Namecheap or whatever. We'll talk about that. We talk about managed versus shared hosting, which one you should pick. We give you all of our reasons why we use Flywheel's hosting, the benefits of using Flywheel hosting, and really the key of that is some of the differences between some of the cheap hosting. Remember, it's like you buy a cheap car, you buy an expensive car. Yeah, they both get you where you need to go, but they are not the same. Same thing with hosting. If you pay $2 or $3 a month for cheap hosting, you're going to get what you pay for. If you pay $15 a month, you're going to get much more. And I trust me when I tell you the value of $15 for a Flywheel website is absolutely there. $15 a month. It's like no money. I mean, it's obviously it's $15, but it's worth it in the long run because what you're getting for it, the peace of mind, the support, everything, it's worth it. And there's an affiliate link down below if you're interested in checking out Flywheel. I love it. It's my go-to. I don't build sites on anything other than, and in fact, if somebody uses our maintenance or our safety plan, and we manage WordPress, the site and all that stuff, we don't even let them host it elsewhere. We will migrate over to a Flywheel account, host the site for them, get it up to date, make sure it stays fresh, fast, and just running as hard as it can. That way it can work for you and not be down. Then the next one is WordPress basics. We literally take that back end of WordPress here and we walk through every single option here. Post options, categories, media, all the things. No stones left unturned there. And then we go into the Divi framework. Talk about what is Divi. We talk about starting your first website and what that process looks like. We go through everything inside of Divi, what the options are, the customizer, the builder, all the things. And then we go into plugins. We talk about some of our standard plugins. What do we use on every site? Trusted plugins. Can't say that enough. Trusted plugins. And how to find safe plugins through reviews, some good portals, some portals you can trust, and we give you some guidance on that. And then in the last part of this, we tie everything together, connecting your domain to the website host, which means the place you buy your domain to where you actually host your website. Essentially, it's like assigning your address, like your street address for your house. It's what you're doing. You're saying, this little thing that I've built over here, this website I built on this computer, this is where you need to go when you go to this website. You connect the two dots. And then setting up an SSL, which is the little padlock in the top corner. So you see here it says not secure, but if we go to our website, TakeeganLinearMedia.com, you're gonna see that the padlock will take place. So here it's not secure in the test area, but our website is absolutely secure. And then connect to Google. It doesn't mean a whole lot if you build it. if you don't tell the biggest search engine in the world that you're there. You have to be an authority. You have to connect to Divi. Let it scroll through your site. They have little computers and algorithms that go and actually read through the content of your page. They want to make sure that your site is what it says it is and that everything matches the way it's supposed to. That's what the course is about. And if that's interesting to you, jump over, click the link in the show notes down below, academy.keylinearmedia.com. Go in and sign up. I'm absolutely going to be there to answer any questions you might have. This is like our baby. This is the labor of love. I've wanted to do this course for about 1.5 years, but I wasn't in a place where I was ready. I didn't feel like I needed to be talking about it yet. I needed to put in more work. I needed to go out and build more websites, have more clients, have more success in my own side hustle. And I feel like I'm in that place. I feel like I'm in a good enough spot, and I want to go out. I want to teach. I'm ready to teach. I feel like I know Divi inside and out. I can do a lot of things with it, manipulate it. And with that, I wanted to show you all our client portfolio, because there's some things that you can do with Divi. We just went through that whole exercise. We put in that regular layout, and it's cool. It is cool. There's no doubt about it. But there's some other things that you can do, like Cloud9, for example. The site that we built initially is a little bit different. They've done some tweaks to it, no doubt. I don't maintain this site, but I did build out the initial site. And so this menu structure is all mine. They added in the video. We had a cool picture there before. All of these, we built. This stuff right here, I built. All of these, the footer, all this stuff, I definitely put together. We can go back in here, the services pages, like these, I built. And then their team, they've got the K9 unit. These people are great, by the way. If you're looking for somebody to do your marketing or do, any of those projects, developments, and you're in South Louisiana, check out K9. Matt is a great guy. The overlays here, we built those. And then the individual pages actually are set up in the back end. It's super easy for the client to maintain. You got meet Matt. These are all built in a way that is super easy to replicate. And yeah, the menu's awesome. I think this site is really cool, but it looks not like Divi. And then you can go in a different direction as well. I mean, we've got my buddy Roberto. We'll open up his project, and then let's see, there's a couple more that I want to show. Let's go to Josh. And then we'll jump forward to the second page. There's one more site that I want to show you. It's this one, Code Red Riot. Yep. So we've got Roberto Blake. This guy is incredible. If you're trying to grow a YouTube channel or you're just looking for online marketing in general, Roberto's phenomenal. He's super creator. The guy's absolutely uber talented. And I had the privilege of working with him to build his site. So we got robertoblake.com. This one looks very different than the last one. Not very Divi-ish. Roberto has a unique style, and his website reflects that. And then we've got Josh Como. This is a buddy of mine. Picture of Josh. We went to Ideologue. It was like a salon conference in New York. I don't know how I can mess that up. Definitely in New York and Hudson Yards. You can see D-Rock, shout out D-Rock, and Gary. This is in 2016, right around the time Instagram stories, Facebook Messenger Day, and all that stuff, or Facebook Stories, whatever they're called now, Messenger Stories. Facebook Stories thing is convoluted, but we were out there and got this pictures. And Josh is just one of those dudes. He's driven. He's super hungry, and he's just a great dude. He's always looking for the next thing. So we built this site for him, just a one-pager. You got his time in school, early days in his career, his building a salon, launching products, and then kind of his brand, Josh Como Hair. Got our stuff down at the bottom. So that's another one that we were able to build with Divi. And then this one, Code Red Riot. This is a rock band out of Las Vegas. The guy right here, Corky Gainsford. Corky was a drummer for Otherwise. Met him many, many, many years ago. Still in touch with these guys, with him and the Otherwise guys to this day. Great guys, really, really, really talented. Corky is the front man of Code Red Riot, but he is a unbelievably talented drummer. Dude plays for Blue Man Group. He put all the music together for the first album of Code Red Riot. He did it all by himself, and then put the band together after the music was created. It's pretty cool stuff. But I had the pleasure when he left Otherwise, I went straight to Corky and I was like, hey buddy, you're looking for a site. Is there anything I can help you with? Let me know. And we built the Code Red Riot website. So pretty cool. Another one doesn't look so much like Divi. And then my website. This is actually built with Divi. I've gone through, I spent a lot of time like trying to customize things and make them my own. So these are more examples of what you can do with Divi. It's very, very simple. Try to make it clean. Try to throw in a little bit of a visual flair. I like for my stuff to look good, but look clean and simple. So there's some things that you can do with it. There's no doubt. And then there's the templates. We went through them. There's a ton of them. They're easy to use, and they work extremely, extremely well. So I don't have anything else for this video. I hope that everything we went through today, building that site from scratch, showing you some of the functions of Divi, showing you how you can create something from literally nothing, and the value of what you can get from Divi. If that's something that interests you and you want to take the plunge, but you're just getting started and you'd like somebody to help you hold your hand through the process early on, again, this Divi Foundation course, I can't talk enough about it. We'll go here. The Divi Foundation course, it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Absolutely love it. I think that this course will be very beneficial to you. I'd love to get your feedback on it. If it's something that changes your life, I think it absolutely can. Actually, I know it can, because this is all the work that I've done and everything that I've put in to my education, to learning Divi inside and out, is in this foundation course, at least everything to get you started. So I hope that brings you a tremendous amount of value. This has been a long video. We're 42 minutes in. So if you're still here, thank you. If you like this, please give the channel a subscribe. There's a lot of other videos just like this. Tons of tips and tricks and things that are normally about 10 to 20 minutes, not quite this long, that I know are going to bring you value, that are going to help you, and that are going to really help you elevate once you get into Divi and into website design in general. So give the channel a subscribe. Click the link below to pick up Divi and to start your first hosting plan with Flywheel, if that's the way you decide to go. There's some links below. Again, they are affiliate links. They won't cost you a dime extra, but they will help me out, and it is great support for the channel. So if you do that route, I appreciate it. I'll tell you thank you in advance. Otherwise, have an amazing, amazing day. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.